This might be just the easiest way to become a professional athlete in America. Even though it's a growing sport, still under 5 million people play pickleball in America. But there are still tournaments with hundreds of thousands of dollars up for grabs, not to mention sponsors throwing money at athletes to try and establish themselves in the market. So how much money would you make as a professional pickleball player? Well, let's start with the obvious, tournament earnings. The standard prize money for professional leagues and tours right now ranges from $30,000 to $150,000 across a few dozen tournaments. And that creates a prize pool of around $1 million. But even if you were good enough to win one of these tournaments, you're not taking home all of the $150,000. After your cut of the pool, you could be left with just a few $1,000s. But let's assume that you're a pretty good player and you can win a handful of tournaments a year. That means you could make $25,000 from prize money. The second and most lucrative revenue stream is through sponsors. There are over 400 paddle companies alone that are trying to break into the growing pickleball market. So there's money to be spent on pro players with a social presence. Let's assume you're on the higher side of sponsorship revenue and make $75,000 per year through various equipment and apparel sponsors. All of a sudden, you're up to 6 figures as a pro pickleball player. But there's still money to be made, because as the sport grows, people are going to want to be taught by top players. So you could open a little coaching side hustle, charge $50 an hour, work 15 hours per week, and earn an extra $40,000 per year. Now you're making $140,000 a year as a professional athlete in America's fastest growing sport. And that's why